as narrowed as those that have the brachycephalic syndrome. Okay, now after the nostrils, the next organ affected is the soft palate, right? So ordinarily, the soft palate should not cover the trachea, but because of this Boas syndrome, the soft palate covers the trachea, which reduces the quantity of air that is able, on a normal condition, to get into the trachea. Right? Now let's move back to the trachea. Because of this Boas syndrome, the trachea develops, we call it hypoplastic, right? It does not fully develop as it ordinarily should develop, right? So that means if, for instance, the diameter of the trachea should have been, for instance, 1 centimeter or thereabout, because of this Boas syndrome, it will not get up to that measurement. Right, so you find out that your pet is literally struggling to pass air, sufficient air to the lungs. Right, now the next organ that is affected is the laryngeal saccule. Now it makes this laryngeal saccule, as you clearly see, to be invaginated. So they fold in when ordinarily they should not have. Okay, so these are the four major organs and the effects of this Boas syndrome on these organs. So when these laryngeal saccles fold in, they now obstruct the airway passage further, right? So we have the obstruction of the nostrils, we are coming down to the obstruction of the soft palate, we have the trachea that is narrower than it should, and we have the laryngeal saccles folding into the airway passage. So all these four factors reduce the quantity of air that eventually gets to the lungs. Okay? Now let's go back to the video. Now, the success of that surgery is not, I'm not here to downplay on the success of that surgery, right? They achieved their aim, which was to widen the nostrils, right? Good and fine. But how about the soft palate that still sits on the trachea and obstructs the airway flow into the trachea? How about the trachea itself that is hypoplastic or reduced or not fully developed and as such is reduced in diameter? Right? Now, how about the effect of the laryngeal saccles that invaginate and further reduce the quantity of air that flows into the respiratory airway? I don't know if I'm making sense. So, if after the surgery you still see your beloved pet